Welcome to your SAP Business Technology Platform organization. Let's learn how SAP BTP helps you organize your work. Think of BTP as a digital workspace where all your cloud tools and data are neatly arranged in one place. For example, a project team can securely manage apps, databases, and user access under one account. This organization makes your daily tasks simpler and more efficient. Think of it like setting up your digital workspace. This means you are creating a central, secure environment where your team can access all the SAP BTP tools and applications they need. For example, a developer is assigned permissions to build and test new apps in a dedicated project space. This foundational step organizes your cloud resources for efficient collaboration. We'll make it simple and practical for you. This means we focus on clear, hands-on learning without complex jargon. For instance, you'll quickly set up a cloud application using step-by-step guides. You'll gain the confidence to apply these skills directly to your own projects right away. A global account is your central SAP BTP organizational unit. A global account is your main container in SAP BTP. It's the central space where you organize and manage all your cloud resources and projects. For example, a company uses one global account to oversee its development, testing, and production environments. This structure ensures everything is efficiently managed under one umbrella. It's like your company's main office building. This is your central space on SAP BTP where all your cloud resources and projects are organized. For instance, a retail company uses it to manage separate development, testing, and production environments. This global account is the foundation for all your activities in the cloud. Everything you do in BTP starts here. This means your global account is the primary entry point and container for all your BTP activities and resources. For instance, a company uses its single global account to manage all its development projects and cloud applications. It is your foundational workspace for every BTP operation. You typically have one global account per company. This means your entire organization uses a single account to manage all its SAP BTP resources and subscriptions centrally. For instance, a corporation like Contoso would have one global account for all its departments worldwide. This structure simplifies administration and provides a unified view of your cloud landscape. Locate your global account in SAP BTP. Let's find your global account in the BTP cockpit. This is your central workspace for managing all your BTP resources and services. For example, a company uses their global account to oversee all their development and test environments. This step is essential for organizing and accessing your cloud projects. Step 1. Log into SAP BTP Cockpit. This means accessing the central web interface where you manage all your cloud resources. For instance, just like you sign into your email to check messages, you log in here to start setting up services. This initial login is your gateway to everything on the platform. Step 2. Look for your global account name at the top. This means once logged in, your account name is prominently displayed on the main screen. For example, if your company is Best Bikes, you'll see Best Bikes global account at the top. This ensures you are in the correct account before managing resources. Step 3. Click on it to enter your main workspace. This means selecting your global account to access the central area where you manage your SAP BTP resources. For instance, just like clicking on a company folder to open it and see all departments inside. This action is your gateway to start building and managing your solutions. Meet your subaccounts in SAP BTP. Subaccounts are like individual departments in your building. They separate your BTP resources into distinct, manageable units, each with its own space and purpose. For instance, your finance team uses one sub-account for payment processing apps, while HR uses another for employee services. This structure keeps your projects organized and secure. Each sub-account is a separate workspace. This means each one operates independently, with its own resources, configurations, and security settings, like having different rooms in an office building. For instance, a company could have one sub-account for development and another for production testing. This separation keeps your projects organized and secure. You can have multiple sub-accounts for different projects. This means you can create separate, secure areas in BTP for each initiative, keeping resources and access isolated. For example, one sub-account for HR analytics and another for supply chain tracking. This structure helps you manage each project efficiently without overlap. They help you organize and separate your work. This means you can group different projects or environments into distinct areas, keeping them isolated. For instance, one sub-account for development and another for production testing prevents interference. This organization ensures each project runs smoothly and securely on its own. Sub-accounts provide isolation, security, and scalability. Keep development and production work separate. This means you isolate building and testing from your live business operations. For instance, developers can safely test new features in a development sub-account without affecting the live sales application. This separation ensures stability and prevents disruptions to your critical business processes. Organize by project teams or business areas. This means you can group all your development, testing, and production resources for a specific initiative into its own dedicated space. For instance, a retail expansion team would have a sub-account with all their apps and databases. This structure keeps each team's work isolated and manageable, streamlining your cloud operations. Manage security and access more easily. This means you control who can see and change different parts of your applications and data within their own secure space. For example, you can give your development team access to a test sub-account while keeping your production system locked down for only the operations team. This focused control significantly simplifies your overall security management. Track costs and usage for specific projects. This means you can monitor exactly how much budget and resources each initiative consumes. For example, a development team working on a new mobile app can have its own sub-account to see all related expenses. This precise tracking ensures financial accountability and efficient resource allocation for every project. Locating sub-accounts within the SAP BTP cockpit. Step 1. Enter your global account. This means typing the unique name of your organization's main SAP BTP container into the search field. For instance, if your company is Northwind Traders, you would enter northwindtraders_GA to locate it. This is your starting point to access and manage all your subaccounts efficiently. Step 2. Look for subaccounts in the left menu. This means scanning the navigation panel on the left-hand side of the cockpit screen to find and select the subaccounts option. For instance, just like you'd find settings in a phone's menu to change your preferences. This action is your direct path to managing your cloud environments. Step 3. Click to see all your subaccounts. This means selecting the option to display a complete list of all the subaccounts you have access to. For instance, if you manage development and testing environments, this action reveals both. This step ensures you can view and manage every subaccount from one central location. Step 4. Select any subaccount to enter it. This means clicking on one of your listed subaccounts to access its specific environment and tools. For example, if you manage separate subaccounts for development and production, you would click on development to work within that space. This action brings you directly into your chosen workspace. The organization hierarchy. Global account is at the top level. This means it is the primary container for all your SAP BTE resources and subaccounts. For example, a multinational corporation would have one global account to centrally manage its entire BTP landscape across all regions. This structure ensures unified governance and billing for your entire organization's cloud investments. Subaccounts live inside the global account. This means the global account is the main container and subaccounts are separate, logical sections within it for organizing your work. For example, a company might create different subaccounts for development, testing, and production environments. This structure provides clear separation and management for your applications and services. Think global account subaccounts. This means your main SAP BTP contract is the global account, and you create subaccounts within it to organize different projects or environments. For instance, a company might have separate subaccounts for its development, testing, and production stages. This structure keeps your cloud resources neatly separated and managed. This structure helps you stay organized. It means you can group your resources logically, like departments in a company, so everything has a clear place. For example, you can have a development folder for all your test applications. This makes managing and finding your projects much simpler and more efficient. Creating your first SAP BTP subaccount. Step 1. Go to your global account in Cockpit. This means accessing the central administrative area where your SAP BTP resources are organized. For instance, think of it like entering your company's main office building before going to your specific department. Always start here to manage your cloud environment effectively. Step 2. Click Create button in Subaccounts area. This action opens the setup form to define your new subaccounts details. For instance, just like clicking New Folder on your computer to start organizing files, you click Create to begin setting up your dedicated SAP BTP workspace. This simple step initiates the process of establishing your own isolated environment. Step 3. Give it a meaningful name. This ensures you can easily identify the sub-account's purpose later. For example, name it as Production HR App if it hosts a human resources application for production in the United States. Choosing a descriptive name from the start saves time and avoids confusion in future management tasks. Step 4. Choose your region. This means selecting the geographic location where your sub-account and its resources will physically reside. For instance, if your users are in Europe, you might pick the Frankfurt region for lower latency. This decision impacts performance and compliance, so choose wisely. Step 5. Click Create to finish. This final action confirms all your settings and officially establishes your sub-account. For example, after entering your sub-account name and region, clicking Create is like submitting an online order. It processes your request. Once done, your new sub-account is ready for use right away. Naming your sub-accounts. Use clear, descriptive names. This means your sub-account names should immediately tell you their purpose and environment. For example, name one as Production Finance instead of subaccount_01. This practice prevents confusion and errors, making your BTP landscape easier to manage and navigate. Always choose names that communicate their role at a glance. Include project or team information. This means adding identifiers like project codes or team names to your sub-account titles. For example, name it as HR Onboarding for the US Human Resources Onboarding Project. This practice ensures everyone can quickly identify the purpose and ownership of each sub-account. Add environment type, dev, test, prod, dot. This means you should label your sub-account to show its purpose, like development or production. For example, name it as West HR App Dev to clearly indicate it's for developing the HR application. This simple step prevents costly mistakes by ensuring everyone knows the sub-account's role. Examples: HR App Development or Sales Reporting Test. This means your sub-account name should clearly describe its purpose, such as the department, project type, and environment. For instance, a sub-account for testing a new finance tool could be named Finance Tool Test. Using descriptive names like this helps your team quickly identify and manage resources. Transitioning between accounts. Step 1. Use the navigation path at the top. This means clicking the account name and region links in the header to switch between different SAP BTP accounts. For instance, if you manage both development and production accounts, simply click the path to toggle between them. This ensures you can efficiently access the correct environment for your task. Step 2. Click the global account name to go back up. This action navigates you from a detailed sub-account view back to the main account overview. For instance, if you are managing a development sub-account, clicking the global account name returns you to see all your accounts. This simple click efficiently reorients you to the broader management context. Step 3. Use the left menu to switch sub-accounts. This means you navigate to the left-hand side menu in your BTP cockpit and select a different sub-account to view and manage. For instance, if you handle both development and production environments, you can quickly jump between them. This simple action keeps your work organized and efficient. Step 4. The breadcrumb shows where you are. This means the navigation path at the top of the screen displays your current location within the account structure. For example, if you are inside a specific subaccount, the breadcrumb might read Global Account Subaccount A. This visual cue helps you understand your exact position and navigate confidently. Quick practice exercise. Find your global account in Cockpit. This means locating your organization's main BTP workspace using the Web Administration tool. For example, if you are a retail company, you'd log into SAP BTP Cockpit and select your company's dedicated global account from the accounts list. This first step is essential for accessing all your cloud resources and services. Create a test subaccount called My Learning Space. This is like setting up a dedicated, isolated area in SAP BTP for your learning activities, separate from live environments. For example, a developer might use this to safely experiment with new services without affecting production systems. This ensures you have a secure space to build and test your solutions. Navigate between your global account and new subaccount. This means moving from your main organizational space to a specific project area you created. For instance, switch from your company's central cloud account to a dedicated subaccount for the HR onboarding app. Mastering this navigation is essential for organizing and accessing your solutions efficiently. Notice how the navigation changes. This means the menu or path you use to move around the application has been updated. For example, after a system upgrade, the settings option might move from a sidebar to a user profile menu. This adjustment helps streamline your access to different features. Our key takeaways from this session. Global account is your main container. Think of it as your company's central folder in SAP BTP where all your cloud resources are organized. For instance, a global retailer uses one global account to manage all their regional development and production environments. This structure keeps everything secure and manageable under one umbrella. Subaccounts are your project workspaces. Think of them as separate digital areas where you build and manage different applications, keeping everything organized. For example, one subaccount could be for your HR app and another for finance, so they don't interfere. This structure helps you handle each project efficiently and securely. You can find both in BTP Cockpit. This means the cockpit is your central place to access services and manage your account. For example, to build an app, you'd log in here to activate tools like the SAP HANA database. So, remember to use the cockpit for all your BTP activities. The hierarchy is Global Account Subaccounts. This means your main SAP BTP contract is the global account, under which you create subaccounts to organize different projects or environments. For instance, you might have separate subaccounts for development, testing, and production. This structure helps you manage resources and access cleanly across your organization. This structure keeps your work organized. This means grouping related development items together logically. For example, keep all database artifacts in one project and user interface components in another, much like organizing kitchen utensils by type in separate drawers. Adopting this approach ensures you can quickly locate and manage your resources efficiently. You are ready to organize. Great job learning the BTP organization basics. This means you now understand how to structure accounts, directories, and sub-accounts to manage resources securely. For example, a company might use directories to separate their development and production environments. This foundational knowledge enables you to build and deploy solutions effectively on SAP BTP. You now understand global accounts and sub-accounts. A global account is your top-level SAP BTP contract, while sub-accounts are separate workspaces for different projects or teams. For instance, a company might have one global account but separate sub-accounts for development, testing, and production. This structure helps you manage resources and permissions efficiently across your organization. You can navigate the cockpit structure. This means you know how to move through the different areas and menus in the BTP cockpit to find what you need. For instance, you can easily go from your global account to view the specific sub-accounts and spaces within it. Mastering this navigation is your first step to efficiently managing your cloud resources. You are ready to start organizing your BTP projects. This means you can now group your applications, databases, and services logically. For example, create separate projects for HR apps and finance tools. This structure helps teams work efficiently and keeps everything manageable. Begin organizing today to streamline your development process and maintain clear oversight of your solutions.